Plant tissues. All living cells divide and form new cells. This helps in the growth of living organisms. In animals, growth is uniform. That is, all parts of their body develop uniformly, whereas in plants, growth is localized. In plants, the growth occurs in certain regions, growing portions of the plant such as the root as well as shoot regions, and also there are non-growing parts in a plant consisting of dead cells which do not divide. So, on the basis of dividing capacity, plant tissues can be categorized into two: meristematic tissue or growing tissue, which is capable of dividing, and permanent tissues, which consist of dead cells. Now let's see meristematic tissues in detail. The cells that form meristematic tissues are capable of division, resulting in the growth of plant parts. They are found in the growing parts of the plant body. First and foremost, they are active cells. That is, the cells are dividing cells, resulting in growth. So we can establish that these meristematic tissues are seen in the growing regions of the plant body. Based on where it is present, meristematic tissues are classified as apical, lateral and intercalary meristem. First we learn about apical meristem. Apical meristems are present at the growing tips of stem and root. They are responsible for the increase in length of stem and root. Next is the lateral meristem. Lateral meristems are present in the stems and roots, helps in increasing the width or girth of the stem and roots. The third type is intercalary meristem. Intercalary meristems are located at the base of leaves or internodes. They facilitate longitudinal growth of the plant organ, independent from the activity of apical meristem at nodes of plants. Meristematic cells lack vacuole. Presence of cytoplasm, prominent nuclear region and thin cellulose walls are other features of meristematic tissues. Next, let's discuss another type of plant tissue, permanent tissues. Permanent tissues are groups of cells which have lost their capacity for cell division. They are derived from the active cells, that is, the meristematic tissues. When cells formed by meristematic tissues lose their capacity to divide and take up specific roles, permanent size, shape and function, permanent tissues are formed. This process is termed as differentiation. As meristematic cells grow and mature, their characteristics slowly change and they become differentiated as components of other tissues. Permanent tissues are classified into simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. Permanent tissues that are found beneath the epidermis and made up of only one type of cells are called simple permanent tissues. The simple permanent tissues are further categorized into parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchymatous tissues. Parenchyma cells can be defined as the basic packing cells of the plant. They are live, unspecialized cells with thin cell walls. The function of the tissue is to provide support to the plant and also to store food. The parenchyma cells are again divided into chlorenchyma and arenchyma. The chlorenchyma cells are a type of parenchyma cell with chlorophyll pigments. In aquatic plants, large air cavities are present in parenchyma to help them float. Such parenchyma cells are called arenchyma. The second type of permanent tissue is collenchyma tissues. Collenchyma tissues are another type of simple permanent tissues. Collenchyma tissues provide mechanical support for the plant. It provides flexibility to the plant. They are living cells found in leaf stalk, stem and tendrils. The third type of simple permanent tissue is sclerenchymatous tissue. Sclerenchymatous tissue is another type of simple permanent tissue. Coconut husk is an example of sclerenchymatous tissues. They are made up of dead tissues and provide strength to the plant parts. As you can see, the cells are thickly packed and have no intercellular spaces between them. They are present in stems veins of leaves and hard covering of seeds. So far we learned about different types of simple permanent tissues. Now let's learn about epidermis of a plant. Epidermis is the outermost layer of cells. The main function of this layer is to protect the internal parts of the plant. It acts as a barrier to all external harmful substances. They are flat cells with thicker outer layer compared to the inner wall. They do not have intercellular spaces between them, as their function is protection of internal parts of the plant. In addition to acting as a barrier to all external harmful substances, the epidermal layer regulates the inflow of useful particles through small micro-sized pores called stomata. Stomata is enclosed by two kidney-shaped cells called guard cells. Stomata help in respiration and transpiration of plants. In roots, the epidermis consists of long hair-like parts that increase the absorptive surface area, which in turn helps in water absorption. Have you ever noticed the difference between outer layer of a branch of a tree and that of a young plant? The outer protective tissue undergoes some changes as the plant grows older. The outermost layer of trees, known as the bark, is a thick layer of dead cells packed without any intercellular spaces. Their walls contain a chemical called suberin that prevents the entry of gases and water into the cell. Complex permanent tissues. Tissues made of more than one type of cells are called complex permanent tissues. All these cells coordinate to perform a common function. The complex permanent tissues are of two types, xylem and phloem. Both xylem and phloem are vascular or conductive tissues which helps in the transportation of water and food to different parts of the plants. Xylem is composed of four elements: tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. Tracheids and xylem vessels are thick-walled, long tube-like structures made of dead cells that allow transportation of water and minerals vertically within the plant. Xylem parenchyma is the living part of xylem. It helps to store food and in the sideways conduction of water. Xylem fibers are dead cells with thick cell walls. They provide mechanical support to plants. The next important tissue is phloem. Phloem is a complex permanent tissue responsible for transportation of food from leaves to all other parts of the plant. It is composed of 5 types of cells: sieve cells, sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma. Sieve tubes are tubular living cells with perforated walls and helps in transportation of carbohydrates and organic substances. Companion cells are the living cells and provide energy for the activities of phloem. Phloem fibers consist of dead cells that provide mechanical support. Phloem parenchyma stores starch and fats.